Hello everybody. Today I am going to talk on self-reliance in career. First we will discuss in brief history of Indian education, then self-reliance skills, action plan for students, universities and the institutions, colleges, case study on engineering education and engineering graduates. At the end, we will discuss career opportunities with respect to Industry 4.0 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Let me just start the presentation. Indian education system has its roots to the ancient ages where students used to go to Gurukul for study. They used to study different subjects like Sanskrit, mathematics, metaphysics, Vedas, language, grammar, medicine, surgery, archery, politics, astronomy, astrology, accounts, music, dance, etc. Takshashila, now in Pakistan, and Nalanda, which is in Bihar, are the oldest university systems of education in the world. The first three official universities started in Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai in 1857. These universities were modeled after the University of London and focused on English and humanities. Indian education system is the third largest in the world, next to the United States and China. It is governed by various bodies like UGC, AICTE, and NCT. Presently, we have 993 universities in India, out of which 50 are central universities. We have 80 deemed universities which are private. We have 371 state public universities, 304 state private universities, and 127 institutions of national importance like IITs, NITs, ISC, and IIITs, IIMs. Also, we have 10,000 plus standalone institutions and 41,000 plus colleges. And there are 14 lakhs teachers and 3.5 crore students are registered in all these institutions and universities, out of which 48.6% are the female candidates. Though we are the second largest in population throughout the world, the gross enrollment ratio of India is 26.3. This GER is the percentage of students in higher education of the total eligible population in the age group of 18 to 23, where the female students' GR is 26.4 and the male students' GR is 26.3. The self-reliance refers to getting your things done and making decisions for yourself without taking help of any other person, which is also called as Atmanirbhar. But this Atmanirbhar doesn't mean that you are cutting yourself off from the everybody. So the learning skill is essential and is a path to the self-reliance or Atmanirbhar. The skills allows you to use your knowledge and practice it to do an activity or job the way you want. It is required to survive in this rapidly changing world. The skills enable graduates to negotiate their relationship with the jobs and manage lifelong learning. Today's self-reliant graduates are aware of the changing world and the changing working environment. They are capable of managing their relationship with the work. They learn to become independent in decision making. They are focused, goal oriented, confident, and committed to their learning. Sometimes some students become self-reliant on their own, others require some direction. In the past, self-reliance skills they have been rejected or neglected. The self-reliance skills are important because jobs are less secure and career transitions are more frequent. The knowledge is changing rapidly and becoming absolute, which demands new skills. Now, to maintain the job, it is necessary to learn new skills, adapt to new changes and new situations, and manage uncertainty and changes. The practical action plan for students consists of increasing the self-awareness of students, where the student lists his or her strengths and weaknesses. They upgrade themselves, identify skills, values, interest, and personal attributes, identify areas for personal, academic, and professional development, seek feedback from friends, teachers, staff, and family. Write down which experience motivates you. Take responsibility, be aware of roles, responsibility, duties, and tasks. Commitment to task from start to finish. Accept own mistakes and shortcomings. Avoid blaming others. Take corrective actions. And do not avoid tasks even if they are tedious or boring. Be skilled and knowledgeable. Acquire skills and knowledge that can help performing certain tasks. Set realistic and attainable goals. Learn time management skills. Learn through experimentation and exploration. Ask for assistance if required. The teachers must create a safe and positive learning environment for students. Students must feel free to discuss their issues with the teachers and ask for help. Do it what you believe and what you believe to be right, even if others criticize you. Take risks to achieve better things. Develop a self-confidence in yourself. Do not measure your worth based on social media profiles, like the number of likes you get and the number of views you get. They may be misleading, sometimes unhealthy, and difficult to differentiate between real lives and the real lives. Develop your skills through participation in classroom teaching, through curriculum, participation outside activities, participation in teamwork, presentations in front of different groups of people, learn different languages, and learn the skills to negotiate, take responsibilities, initiate and start something new. Also learn while you travel. Acquire the skills when you travel. Identify the opportunities, identify skills and possible source of information, maintain proof of your skills, maintain the log, which may sometimes required. Learn from success and failures of your own and others. Note your response to failure so that you can cope up better next time. Develop network of your contacts and maintain a network for advice and information. Read newspaper, talk to people, visit career fairs, do your final year projects seriously. That may be a route to your employment. Practice negotiating skills in everyday life. This is very important. And aim for win-win outcome, not a selfish end of things. Do something completely different that makes you different from other graduates. And take up some distinctive hobby. Apply your acquired skills to the new context, to the new environment, to the new problem, new situations. This requires a high level skill in itself, and these skills are not transferable. Don't panic if you fail. You don't have to be perfect. Review your progress regularly. You can achieve a great deal over 3 to 4 years if you start now. Utilize your summer winter vacations to acquire experience, maybe paid, unpaid. Gain work experience in your field of interest. Always plan your course of action by asking certain questions which are mentioned here. Implement your action plan by effective time management and identifying the goals, making plans, monitor and evaluate your progress against specific objectives. How do you develop the skills required to be self-reliant? Incorporate project-based learning. Start with simple to complex problems. Learn skills, time management, interpersonal relations. Allow the students to choose their activities and method of learning. Make them responsible and accountable for their mistakes and choices, and learn from mistakes. Plan the activities and grade them based on their activities. Motivate them to take part in activities. Encourage them to take a challenging task. Arrange for a team of students to manage a classroom every week. Encourage socialization and friendships with their peers. Encourage paired activities, group activities to break up their barriers. This will help the students to respect each other, understand different points of views, learn about different cultures, resolve conflicts peacefully, and treat each other diplomatically. Student can also participate in different activities like Career Hub, learn what skills are required, what are the skills employers are looking for, attend career seminars, and take participation in career fair, talk to the employers, talk to the people, talk to the recruiters, and present your proposals, the teams there. The way forward for universities and institutions is integrate your career related activities in the curriculum rather than just adding them in a peripheral activity. Incorporate skill-based learning, blended learning, personalized learning, activity-based learning in the curriculum. Provide a seamless career guidance to students through licensing between the institute and Career Guidance Association. Teach the students career management and learning skills from their first year. The study shows that 30% of graduates would not take the same course if they had their time again. Then the question remains, why and what are the reasons for doing a degree? Ask your university some questions like the purpose of your course, learning environment, how relevant work experience is offered in the university, how skills are developed in the university. In short, what am I expected to learn and what I'm expected to accomplish over the course of the year. The complete graduate needs 4 types of skills. Self-reliant skills, what we have discussed. Specialist skills like expert of something, maybe design, coding, marketing, law. Must have skills to work in a team. So should have management skills, meeting skills, and you should have general business skills and knowledge of finance, basic accounting, communication, and IT. Now let us take a case study of engineering and engineering graduates. Where engineering is an application of science and math to solve the problems. As we have seen that one of the largest education system The question remains for Indian system, whether quality or quantity. You must have heard people talking about the engineering graduates. Indian graduates are not employable. Somebody says 10%, somebody says 20%, someone says 25% graduates are employable. Some of the findings of the HR rounds are many of the students, they know nothing. They don't have anything to say about themselves. They don't have hobbies. They don't play any sports. They don't have academic achievements to show. They are not confident about themselves. And they don't have anything to offer in terms of personality and extracurricular talent. So the question remains whether to be engineer or to be engineering graduate. Okay. Again, a study shows that many of these electronics engineer, electrical engineer, computer engineer, civil engineer, mechanical engineer, and so on, they are not able to answer simple questions like Ohm's law, Newton's law. They are not able to draw a flow chart. They don't know standard operating procedures and so on. So what we need is, we need engineers who have skills to confidently take on the technological challenges of today and tomorrow. Many times we hear that engineering graduate working as security person, bank clerk, pizza delivery boy, then why to choose this engineering degree or engineering discipline? The reason is that engineers make things happen. They create best of products. They do research, production, marketing, they are in finance. A variety of branches available and specialization available for engineering graduates. They discover new ideas, analyze them, and apply them. And the most important, they enjoy a prestigious position in the society. There are three types of trends in engineering education. The professional engineer, they are the engineering graduates who join services after they completing their graduation, undergraduate studies. The scientific engineers, they acquire specialized education and work in research and development organizations or scientific officers in different organizations. The entrepreneurial enterprising engineers, they are really, James, they know everything, they can do anything, collaborates and innovate. There are various branches of engineering and specialization, and the thrust areas identify the industries. Like conventional branches of engineering, civil, mechanical, computer, electrical, electronics, mechanical. Nowadays, people talk about thrust areas in artificial intelligence, data science, cybersecurity, blockchain, robotics, machine learning, Internet of Things, quantum computing, 3D printing and designing, augmented reality, cloud computing. Basically, these are the areas. If you have taken this course, or if you study these areas, which are thrust areas, then you have better chances of getting a job and better job prospects and opportunities. So how to find out which the branch suits you? First, find out your attitude, aptitude, find out your interest, find out your intellectual abilities, understand your abilities, and then choose the branch for career and not for job. However, one should enjoy the engineering education by learning to care yourself. Say no to rote learning. Learn by doing. Understand your subjects and syllabus. Don't just mug up. Ask questions to your teachers. Learn beyond your textbooks. Don't confine to only textbooks. Read journals, read magazines, read articles. It's okay to fail, but don't give up. Teamwork is the key. Form a team. Make a friends. Work in group. Be a part of real-time internship. Take a real-time internship. Go to industry for internship. Learn smart and think practical way. And know your purpose of being engineering. Develop some useful hobbies which helps you in skill development, career building, and makes you help you in becoming a leader. Three types of hobbies: time waster hobbies, that is watching TV and so on; fun hobbies, that is drawing, painting, and you know playing sports games. Useful hobbies are creative writing, blogging, professional photography, etc. Find out your interest and to one of them. Use your social media in career crafting. Tap the power of social media. Build your positive image on the social media. Learn through social media. Demonstrate your expertise and presence effectively. Okay. Grab the opportunity to reach the massive crowd with transparency, honesty, and integrity. Use your social media right way. Now, with this, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the entire, that this COVID-19 pandemic has affected the entire world and it has come to standstill. Almost, everything is closed almost. There's a huge loss of lives and the jobs. Most of the activities throughout the world are switched either in online mode or in a virtual environment. And the global mobility is almost come to a standstill, which leads to certain questions and certain solutions. The Industry 4.0, which was introduced in Germany in 2015, it focused on creating smart environment in manufacturing processes, creating intelligent products, processes, and procedures to increase efficiency and shorter the development time and efficient use of resources and energy without any loss of quality, rather improved quality in some cases. The essence of industry version 4.0 is in the Internet of Things and Internet of Services, where you have all components in a factory connected to each other. And you have a services of those connected components available. You can use those services for your purposes. So transform the traditional factory or your traditional plant into a smart factory by using the computers, automation integrated together with communication, IT, and data and physical elements. Where you gather and analyze data across machines, enable for faster, more flexible, and more efficient process to produce higher quality of goods and at reduced cost. The Industry 4.0 revolution talks about the cyber physical system, where your physical components are connected, they talk to each other in a logical environment. The slide shows how the first, second, third, and the present fourth industrial revolution takes place and the degree of complexity. So the degree of complexity of this post-industrial revolution is too large as compared to the first, second, and third revolution. These are some of the applications of Industry 4.0, where you can use the Industry 4.0 in smart manufacturing, where you have a smart factory, where all the machines, components, they are connected to each other through IoT and other platform. They talk to each other. You have a supply chain, and you have a smart grid, distribution center, customer. They are all connected to a business system or ERP system, which is located at some different place. The other application is smart building, where you take the audit of your environment within the building and outside building, like AC power submitters measuring the meter reading, gas and water submitter reading, temperature within the building, humidity, light, CO2 within and outside building, the outdoor temperature, and so on. So these are taken and then connected through internet, and from the remote location, either you can switch on, switch off, or control the environment in your building. The Industry 4.0 smart factory consists of all automation and the intelligent machines working together in tandem to perform various operations or various processes. Industry 4.0 also talks about supply chain, in which you have a supply chain control tower which communicates with all the entities like your raw material supplier, the logistics, manufacturer, customers, and the end user, and take the appropriate decisions when your system is functioning. The other slides gives you the use of IoT in smart cities for controlling the traffic lights, smart parking, utilities, controlling public transports, controlling street light, waste management, and then public safety. One of the main advantage of this IoT and IoT services is in maintenance, where conventionally we were doing a reactive maintenance, then predictive maintenance, and then proactive. Industrial 4.0 talks about reliability driven maintenance, where you find out the cause of failure. So you don't replace the failed component, but you find out the cause of failure and treat the cause of failure. Some of the examples for this are, the windmills. The windmills are located at remote places. Okay, mostly on the top of hills and like that. So the performance of these windmills and the rotating components, including motor, gearbox, the other rotating shafts, and all that, the routine maintenance has to be done going at a physical location. So instead of that, if you set a sensors there and use IoT, so you can remotely monitor the condition of these rotating parts in the windmill and take a predictive action. And also you can find out the cause of failure, or you can find out the life of the component or the useful life of component if the component is failing. Similarly, you can use this Industry 4.0 in flexible supply chain, where you tag all your components, and when you are traveling from your raw material supplier to your factory, from factory the final product from factory to the warehouse and to the customer, tag all those you track all those tags and take the corrective action in the way to the end user. Also, in case of this smart factories, you have flexible manufacturing system where no human intervention is recommended. You have all robots performing different tasks. Like you have uh, a line, manufacturing line or production line for manufacturing a typical car. So the same machinery or same production line can be used to manufacture different cars. You can construct one car of one type, another car of second type, third car of another type, and so on. So you don't have to have the one dedicated supply line for one product. Same supply line can be used for producing different components and different, productions. One of the important, aspect of Industry 4.0 is still twin technologies. In this case, you create a virtual version or virtual environment of your real world installations and the processes and applications, and study the characteristics and the performance of the system in the virtual environment, and manage your real-time environment based on the suggestions or the outcome of your virtual results or virtual environment. The impact of this Industry 4.0 is going to be a large. The fourth industrial revolution, due to this, there's a mass job loss along with this job loss due to COVID-19. Emergence of high-level skills, different skills, and the graduates are required to be constantly, innovative, creative, and interactive with experienced workers in real-life work environment. They need to have a continuous interaction with the people, those who are working in real environment. The institutions need to provide the vocational skills and the blended skills blended with the working experience and work-based learning to the students. Student must acquire competent technical and vocational skills. The skills that are not concerned or connected with the Industrial Revolution 4.0 may be rendered as useless. Pick one skill that you would like to master and start participating deliberately every single day. Skills. Keep your mind open to what new skills you can acquire that will help you grow as individual. People are now talking about Industry 4.0, where the involvement of robots and smart machines will allow human to work better and smarter. It is said that 60% of manufacturing, logistics, supply chain, agri-farming, and mining and oil and gas sector employ chief robotics officers by 2025. So friends, you have a lot of opportunities which are available due to this Industry 4.0, provided if you acquire the relevant skills. So if you acquire a relevant skill, then I think the opportunities are countless. The other area where there are a lot of opportunities for building a career is a United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. The United Nations has come out with a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all by 2030. And it addresses the global challenges we face today, including those related to poverty, inequity, climate change, environment, degradation, peace, and justice, along with no poverty, zero hunger, good health, quality education, clean water, affordable and clean energy, infrastructure, then houses, and so on. We have seen that during this COVID-19, pandemic situation, a lot of, the workers, they migrated from one place to another place because of one or other of these, challenges. And there are a lot of scope, to work to have, to achieve these sustainable development goals. So you can acquire some certain skills, specific skills in one of these, 17 goals, which will fetch you, I believe that should fetch you a better career options and opportunities. So to end with, universities of future should have a seamlessly built project-based learning, internship, and entrepreneurship into curriculum, making individual Atmanirbhar. The students must build a self-reliance skills, acquire knowledge, involve themselves in wider university life, participate in academic classes, professional competitions, and sports clubs, write blogs, gain work experience through summer internships and part-time work, attend industry-related activities, conferences, and so on. Establish networking through your mentors, continues education system, continue your education. Follow your own voice and add at least one skill in your resume to have an improved and quality of life. These are the references, some of the references. This is what I wanted to share with this very with you today. Thank you very much.